From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured, held, and shipped off into slavery. So don't wait. Secure your spot today. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
A lot of people in the comment sections, particularly white people that spy on this channel and write emails to my boss accusing me of being racially biased and sending South Africa into a racial war, say that I need to let it go. I need to let go of this white genocide case. Why am I complaining about them when I don't even want them in South Africa in the first place? And they're absolutely right. I don't want them in South Africa in the first place. The less white people in our country, the better. But I'm also not going to let Black Americans be swindled of their rights and be marginalized to make way for a bunch of lying racists. So, America, without wasting anybody's time, I think it's time you get acquainted with your new neighbors, the highly persecuted bunch, the most vulnerable refugees of all refugees. Meet Santana the brain, the blonde woman looking down on the kids. Yeah, that one. Afrikaner refugee Santana the brain lists 2.3 million rand home after relocating to the United States. Afrikaner refugee Santana the brain has put her 5-bedroom home in Lorraine, Becha, valued at 2.3 million rands on the market after relocating to the United States. De Brain and her family were part of a group of 49 white South Africans who flew to the United States under a special refugee program. Her property, described as an oasis, features a pool and a spacious living area. What kind of genocide is this that allows them to list their property? And where is this 2.3 million going? Who is it going to? Why is a refugee under distress allowed to move money to international accounts? Where does she get the time to do it all? This is fraud, and I think the South African Revenue Service should look into this. She robbed the country. She left without paying tax on the property she's selling. I went to her LinkedIn profile, which is now private. Surprise, surprise. She worked for Heineken South Africa in the marketing department, and they earned a monthly salary of 37,000 rand. That's like $2,100. Meet Errol Langton. Now, Errol gave an interview of a lifetime to the New York Times. The details in that interview are sketchy. New York Times didn't care to do further research or verify if Errol Langton, aka the source, is credible. But what can we expect from New York Times? They are part of the propaganda machine pushing this false narrative. No surprises there. Errol Langton, who told New York Times that he was threatened because he is a white guy and a farmer. He has never been a farmer in the first place. He has a registered IT business named Distortions Solution, registered in South Africa since 2008. Some of his family members, including his wife, worked for him. Langton, an English-speaking South African, and his family were 9 of the 49 white Afrikaner refugees. Didn't Trump say in order to qualify to the special refugee program, you need to be a farmer? White and Afrikaans speaking. Why is this Englishman, a CEO of an IT company, lying and slithering his way into the refugee program? Hey, he further said that he is hoping the American government would give him a piece of land so that he could farm and feed the United States. Sorry, with what farming experience do you qualify for land to be given to you? Where is this land going to come from? Which Black American will be forcefully giving up their land for you? Check out this clip.
We're in South Africa. If you're going to badmouth the country, we're going to check. So an Afrikaner farming family trades South Africa for Alabama. So in the interview, Errol tells the New York Times that he has been threatened back home because he was a white guy and a farmer, and that his business had suffered financially because of the hatred directed at Afrikaners. He goes on to tell them that he grew spinach, mustard, Swiss chard and sweet potatoes, possibly in his backyard. Now he said he would most likely work an IT job in Birmingham, How odd, a farmer that's going to now just work a IT job in Birmingham. But eventually he hopes to purchase a plot of land where his family can farm with chickens and perhaps run a commercial operation. Mr. Langton, you should stick to your knitting, because you ran an IT company that was registered from 2008 in South Africa. You have never farmed. Why are you blatantly lying? In fact, here is the background of your company. Errol Langton joined as the first technician the company employed, being very much family orientated, dexterous, continued to include all members, I assume, of the Langton family. And the reason why I can't see is because the web page has been discontinued. So the next time one of the so-called South African refugees decide to actually speak to the media on that side and make false statements about their persecution as farmers when they've never been farmers, please note, South Africa will respond.
These people are frauds. While there are real refugees in the DRC, Afghanistan, El Salvador dying, Trump is rolling out the red carpet for fraud. These headlines that are trying to exonerate Trump, saying he's being fooled into believing the Boers, is a bunch of BS. Trump knew exactly what he was doing when he opened the floodgates for the Boers. He knew that they would use manipulation tactics to ride on the refugee program. He knew that the likelihood of real farmers migrating to America are zero. Trump was sending a message to the Western community that racism can be practiced openly. He was asserting white supremacy in the global north, opening the floodgates to racism. Soon another country will follow. The West will follow suit in Trump's footsteps. The issue points to a broader trend of migration manipulation and class-based disinformation. This is less about farming and more about optics. For years, the image of oppressed, sunburnt farmer has dominated headlines, but it didn't always match the economic reality. Many of these so-called farm refugees arrived with more capital than the average American family. Trump's stance was built more on identity politics than verified humanitarian need. So he must not come here and fool us and say, yeah, I was fooled. Because I'm seeing a lot of headlines recently, since he's now beefing with Elon Musk. A lot of headlines are saying, well, Trump has been fooled into believing that the Boers are under distress in South Africa. He can't believe that. No. A president that has the most sophisticated intelligence in the world, that can spy that can spy on any country in the world, didn't know that the Boers were not under distress. No, he knew exactly what he was doing. So these BS headlines that are trying to exonerate him now that he's beefing with Elon Musk, and they're trying to, I don't know, angeli him. They're trying to clean up his image. They're trying to godlify and glorify him and make Elon Musk the villain. No, sorry, we are not going to buy it. Trump knew exactly what he was doing. And it was more about opening the floodgates of racism, opening the floodgates of racism can be practiced freely without being persecuted to the global north. He was introducing free reign of racism to the Western community. It was not about the Boers and the family. You couldn't care less about the Boers, really. He was just showing the West that, hey, you can assert your white supremacy to the world, and no one will hold you in contempt. No one will come for you. No one will persecute you. You can do that. Can you see what I'm doing? And I have a whole propaganda machine pushing this narrative, and no one is going to do anything to me. Not even South Africa is not going to do anything to me. So my fellow Western community members, let's practice racism without being held responsible. Without being held responsible for a hate crime. So yeah, it has more to do with political optics and asserting the global north asserting its white supremacy dominance rather than this white genocide nonsense. They couldn't care less. These people are used as a pawn, as a tool. And because we know that the Afrikaners are delusional, uneducated, yeah, they went along with it. They failing to see the bigger picture. Now that Elon Musk and Donald Trump are fighting, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? No, we are coming after AfriForum for treason. The country is coming after AfriForum for treason. AfriForum for treason. Kali Kriel is definitely going to jail. Everybody that participated in trying to bring our state down and undermine our sovereignty, they are going to prison. They were planning a coup. They were planning a coup. They are going to prison. What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right